These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back for another How About Them Celtics emergency video. We were here Saturday, June 8th. We recorded another video reacting to Guillermo on Jimmy Kimmel at NBA Finals Media Day because I was in the video, but it got blocked by YouTube because, in hindsight, of course,
Yes.
it's a big, it's Jimmy Kimmel show. Of course, it's going to get blocked. You can't just rip that and record it, but whatever. We're here. We're going to talk about Jaylen Brown instead. Jaylen Brown led the Celtics in scoring in game one of the NBA Finals, had 22 points. Very efficient night for Jaylen as well. I believe he shot 7 of 12 from the field. After the game, he was asked a bunch of questions. He was basically like, how did it feel to play like that on the biggest stage? You know, what are your thoughts on the game, et cetera, et cetera? And all of his responses were, effectively, I don't care. Effectively, it doesn't matter. I don't care about playing well. It is what it is. I think Bobby Kritsky, friend of the show, asked him, he said, first Celtic in final history with at least 20 points, 3 blocks, and 3 steals. What does it mean to you to showcase your career evolution on the stage? He said, it means nothing. and you just get ready for the next one. So, I mean, it goes back to the whole everybody has a different mindset on things. But Jaylen Brown just seems to not really give a shit about anything but winning a title, which is a good mindset. But it was very clear when he was giving his answers that no matter what you asked him, a part of the answer would be, doesn't matter.
Job's not finished. Jaylen has his locked in hard hat on. Shout out to the Garden Report. He is just fully focused on winning. That's all he wants. He really isn't going to give in to any kind of happiness or anything or gloat or, well, gloat is the wrong word, but really just enjoy any of the performance milestones he hits until they win a title, because he was excellent in game one and he was great on both sides of the ball. And yes, Luka ended up with a lot of points, and I know he talked about that, but they ultimately made it very difficult for Luka to get all those points, which is a big achievement from them. Sorry, still getting sharp today. I'm not quite there yet.
Yeah, no, Jaylen, I mean, he played a great game, obviously. The 3 blocks and 3 steals, I don't think were fully indicative of just how good he was on the defensive end of the floor. He was like a full-on defensive stopper on one of the best players in the NBA, and that's always an impressive thing. And then he kind of picked his spots on offense. I wrote a whole thing earlier this season, about the way Jaylen sort of adapted his offense to fit in with this team. And once Kristaps came back, you really saw him kind of get back to that in the finals, where it's, I'm going to get most of my points in transition. I'm going to get most of my points playing aggressive and playing smart. And he sort of only scores in the way that suits him. And that is great, because in the NBA Finals, you need to do the best things to help your team win. And everybody on the Celtics did that, including Jaylen Brown. And it was sort of like honing in on the things that help him score the most. I mean, listen, he's even asked, like, how do you feel like you did against Luka? He said it's a full team effort. Luka still had 30 and 10, so I got to do better. Like he's just very clearly not going to have anything, I don't want to say positive to say, but he's not going to give you anything other than, doesn't matter, next game, we're going to keep going. This game doesn't matter, it's in the past, et cetera, all that stuff, which is a very, kind of Kobe mindset,
Missoula mindset,
Michael Jordan mindset, I guess Missoula mindset, which is ironic because it feels like everyone, what's weird? I never really thought of this. Everyone like mocks Jason Tatum for trying to be like Kobe, and then they get mad at him for not like having the mindset of, you know what I'm saying? Like,
if they win the title, the first thing he's doing is recreating the Kobe picture with the championship.
Yeah, exactly. And people will like mock him for all that stuff, and then he won't have the Kobe mindset, and they say, well, you need to be more like Kobe. You need to do this more. Anyways, no, but it's I don't know. Do you like this mindset from players in Jaylen and all that stuff, or what's your whole thing? Do you not care? Like, what is?
Well, I'm glad they're not having a celebration after winning the first game of the series. We can look at it that way. I think he's just trying to keep it keep himself in line as they're trying to continue to win games of this series, right? Like, they are not out there to win game 1. They are out there to win 4 out of the 7 games. So they are off to a good start, but they ultimately have not accomplished their goal yet. And I think once they do that, they'll be overjoyed, happy, very proud of themselves. But until that point, don't expect too much rah-rah stuff from the podium from these guys because they are just trying to maintain their focus. They're doing exactly what they've done all season. Joe Mazzulla has instilled it into them where they are not going to look past anybody. They are not going to look ahead to any result, and they are going to take it game by game. That's just the entire mantra of the season. And shout out to the team because they've completely bought into what their coach is telling them, which you don't always see in the NBA.
Yeah. I mean, I like the mindset. Selfishly, I wish he gave better quotes, and that's not his problem, and he doesn't have to do that. But when you're trying to like get stuff out of him, and all he says is "I don't care" next game, it's like, okay, but like, what about that game? Like, how do you feel about how that game went? But the mindset is definitely what you want from Jaylen and the rest of the team. The mindset of, we're only focusing on the next thing. It's obviously the correct thing. He was asked a couple years ago about being in the finals in 22. Now the biggest difference is being Drew and Kristaps, how much of an impact they had, et cetera, et cetera. He basically said 2 great additions, went on to talk about how good a game Kristaps had, and then brought it back to, yeah, but Derek White, Drew, and JD can all get going. Every game has its own story. You got to stay ready. Take it one game at a time. All that stuff. He's asked about. Looks like earlier in the playoffs, you guys didn't need Porzingis. You guys got here with a 12-2 record and had a lot of rest. Seems like he completes you guys. Do you see it that way? Are you guys like a complete team top to bottom now with Kristaps on the floor? He said, yeah, I think Kristaps has been great all season, et cetera, et cetera. He opens it up. Now, next game, I'm sure they'll make adjustments. We got to be able to be ready. Guys will have to step up. Like, it's just constantly like, yeah, the next game, which is a good thing. It's a very good thing. It's just interesting. Yeah, we talked about the friendship with Kristaps. Are you proud of him? Yes. Nobody's more proud, but we got to get better. We got to forget about it and get ready for the next one. Like, it's just the same thing. Like, he'll give you a 2-sentence answer and then immediately get on to the next, which is good. It's a good mindset to have. It's the way they've won all season. It's the way they can potentially win a finals here.
My favorite Jaylen press conference moment of the few I've been to was when Cam simply asked him about the dogs, or somebody asked him about the dogs. I don't think it was Cam, but Cam was the one that put the video on social media. And then one of the gang asked him. He was like, yeah, we got some dogs back there. That's the sound the dog makes, or whatever he said. It was such a dumb answer, and he cracked the smallest smile. That's all we got.
Oh, I don't even know. I don't know who asked him. I don't remember.
You do remember what I'm talking about,
the
though,
video?
right?
Vaguely, yeah.
I just think there was a video of them all in the locker room, like, barking at each other. And then the next game we were both at, and somebody asked him, and he had a little bit of joy. Yeah.
It was Cam. Here, I found it. Noah put it on Twitter because
I got my sources crossed.
Yeah, he had me searching for the wrong thing. Now here it is.
Joe, the other day, and talking about how resilient this team has, said there's a bunch of dogs in this locker room. Tatum has used that language. Joe just said that was a coincidence, but you've been on tape asking for the guys to bark like dogs. Is that a
This was when they were messing with us. This was when they were everyone would come into the press conference and they'd all have a magic word to say to match each other. Like, one day they all said dogs. One day they all said made a Spider-Man reference. One day they all made a baseball reference. Like, this was like pre-All-Star break when they were so very clearly just like painfully bored, and they were just fucking with us at this point.
Mantra of yours? Is that a nickname behind the scenes? What's going on with this dog stuff?
Nothing going on behind the scenes. It's just we getting our guys ready to go. We got a bunch of dogs in our locker room. So sometimes, they impersonate what a dog might sound like, so that's all. That's all it was. That's all that is.
It is nice, though. You can see his actual life come back into his face upon being asked that. Because at the beginning of that clip, he is miserable, does not want to be there. Shout out to Cam for getting to crack a smile.
Man. Yeah, no, they were messing with us at that point, and I think Cam ruined it for him because the whole thing was like you had to bring it up somehow naturally. Like when Joe Mazzulla said the Spider-Man thing, he was just like,
Just randomly talking.
yeah, yeah. They were asking him a question. He goes, "You ever seen Spider-Man?" Everyone was like, "What the fuck is happening?" Like they brought it out of nowhere, and then Tatum was like, he was like Spider-Man out there with his getting steals and stuff. And we're like, that doesn't even fucking make sense. But yeah, Jaylen Brown with the most Jaylen Brown mindset in the NBA Finals. This is gonna be another short video. We're sorry. We were supposed to one was supposed to be up earlier, but it is what it is. Let us know your thoughts on the whole mindset thing. Appreciate you. I'll let Sam take it up.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We have daily content for you every morning, usually at 5 a.m. Today we got clapped, and you guys did kind of miss out on a banger video. That was a lot of fun. We gotta make like a Patreon so we can release it or whatever it is. We have to find a way to get the people the Guillermo video. I enjoyed that very much. But yes, we have videos like this, full pods Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, game recaps the morning after each game, pod tomorrow, game recap Monday. Be here for it. You can also be here for our streams. Talking C's is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, usually in the morning, but sometimes we got to flex it around with the practice schedules. We have Celtics Roundtable on Tuesday in the evening at some point, and Jack and I are here for a half hour before every single game for pregame. So come loosen the nerves a little bit before tip-off. We'll be here for you, talking about nothing. You can also find us on Spotify and Apple. Our streams are there. They're on you get the pods and game recaps there, rather, not the streams. You can stream all of our stuff there. Leave a 5-star review, follow the pod. You can also find us via email, hbtcpod@gmail.com. That's the address to reach out to us. If you have any thoughts on Jaylen, thoughts on game 2, go ahead and send those along. Sure, you got something to say. It is the finals. And you can find us on socials at How About Them C's, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook's the name of the pod. Streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's at Jack Simone NBA. Mine is at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us.
Taco, come on. Taco's having some fun here.